Hi guys, welcome to Thursday with Sean. But today is a Friday, correct? Yes, I did not forget that we have a date on Thursday, and yesterday I ended the day really late, so I decided to do it today because I need my beauty sleep before I appear on the camera. You see, like I even bother to put some water on my hair today to look nice. Now, what is the stock we are talking about today? Can you make a guess? Okay, anyone? If you are here, you can say hi. And look at my face. It's not a beauty product. What is this stock about? Now, this stock that we are talking about is one of a very big, gigantic stock, one of the dividends aristocrats. Again, if you are joining us for the first time, the dividends aristocrats are stocks that has been giving up dividends for the past 25 years, and they have been increasing dividends every single year. This is not an easy feat. Just imagine that you start a business and you are giving out profits to your shareholders every single year, and they keep increasing year on year for 25 years. It is now 10 a.m. and welcome to Thursday with Sean. The topic we are going to talk about today, the stock that I want to look into today, is this stock called 3M. Yes, have you heard of Post-it notes? Have you heard of like Scotch tape and many other innovative products are from this company called 3M. Now let's take a look at this company before I dive into some very interesting facts that maybe a lot of people may not know, or maybe you have heard of them in your school before, because very motivating subjects and also stories. So say hi, and also if you are a topic, or rather you are a customer of a 3M product, please type down some of the 3M products that you have used before. Now, what does 3M do? How do they make billions of dollars every year? And it has been increasing in revenue every year. I've checked. The growth rate is amazing, even though it is really a multi-billion dollars company. So just to share a bit of things, the growth rate for the revenue of 3M for the past like even 10 years, right? It has been growing like 7 to like 8%, and I can share with you, right, that this is not an easy feat for a gigantic company like a manufacturing company that's making over $30 billion per year. Okay, great. Thanks, Samantha, for sharing that you use Post-it, probably you use Scotch tape, and maybe other kind of glues that you use that's from 3M. Now, let's dive in. What does 3M do? You can see, okay, I've written some notes here. About 13.5% is on display and graphics. And exactly what is display and graphics, right? It is things like traffic safety systems, or even like the things that, like for example, if you go and after finish driving a car, you have to post that you're like a learning driver, or you just finish like getting your P plate, right? Where did the P plate come from? Do you think about that? It is from 3M, so 13.5, okay, percent is from there. Okay, what do I have here? Oops. Now, the next one is 15% is from consumer and office. That's where your Scotch tape, your Post-it comes in. So you can see 3M is many places around us. Industrial and transportation, this is the heaviest. It is up to 30% of their sales and revenue comes from here. So they sell like glue, abrasive systems, adhesive, meaning to say they have to paste things, probably like things that you use in industrial standards, okay? Now, what is this? This is safety and security. So 3M, they also produce like helmets and a lot of other things that like they use in factories, okay? What is this? Okay, electro and communications. So if you don't know, like electronic solutions, communication solutions, all these things, right? 3M is also having a part of it. And the last one, let me take a look. This is healthcare. Healthcare is a segment that 3M has 18.6% in their company bringing revenue. So medical supplies, skin products, pharmaceutical, but they sold it off in 2007. So these are the portions that 3Ms have been contributing. Now, I want to share with you some of their finances, because amazing financial in 3M. Again, such a big company, but when we look at to their earnings per share, okay, let's look at their revenue first. You see, from 25 billion in 2008 is now 32 billion. The latest, it has been growing very steadily. And I'll share with you the secret. If you're a business owner, if you're a leader in the company, there's a lot of things we can learn from 3M. Even myself, I reflected. These are things that we can implement in value investing college to make our services and our ideas even more robust. Okay, so revenue has been growing. Okay, more on their numbers. Look at their dividends per share. It is getting a little bit stagnant for a while, but you remember their revenue is growing quite a bit, and their gross margin, right, has been very, very stable. Dividends, as mentioned, one of the dividends aristocrats, growing from 40 cents all the way to 72 cents. If you have bought 3M back in 2008, which we all hope that we were buying, correct, in 2008, we hope that we have bought so many shares. Now the dividends almost doubled since then. And will they continue to double? In my opinion, this company has a chance. For the past previous Thursday with Sean, right, I've been sharing some companies, they are so big and I feel that they are stable and they may not seem like they have potential growth, but not 3M. This company is very unique. So again, cash is high, return on equity is high, their finances amazing. It's one of the model answers for great value investing stocks. Now, I want to share with you, valuation wise, they are not the cheapest right now because their PE ratio, let me just share with you, PE ratio wise, currently is 28.88. Okay, 28.8, if you are Chinese, you see, wow, so many 8s, it's a good time to buy. But let me share with you, that's not the case. 28.8 is relatively high. On average, their past 5 years is 20.02. Now, because their dividends aristocrats, right, what I would like to look at is more on their dividends. So, zoom in here for the dividends. Now, their dividend yield is 2.6. It is not a cheap stock. I want to emphasize that. But I want all of us, or rather, I will put it on the watch list and I'll be ready to buy this stock. When will I buy it? When the dividend yield can hit back to the time where it's near 3. So it is not easy to buy this stock at a cheap price. I will accumulate a little bit, okay? Now is 2.6. Okay, to me, if it hits about 2.8 dividend yield, I will actually accumulate a bit. If it hits 3, I will buy quite a bit of it. Now, I'll buy more of it. Now, I want to share something unique about this company and why I feel that this company is a very potential company to continue to grow. It may not like maybe double or triple within the next 2 or 3 years, but I want to share with you some history of the company, and they have this thing called innovative culture. As I study more and more companies, right, a lot of big gigantic company, like even when we talk about IBM or even, do you know, like we talk about Marvel versus DC. DC was the giant back then. There are so many gigantic company. All the small companies came and then took over. What was lacking in those companies that remain as giant and they didn't grow? The key thing is innovation, the willingness, the bonus to test out new things. 3M does not have this problem. Okay, because 3M, right, I can share with you, they started as a failing company. So be willing to fail. There are some life lessons we can take from here, you know. Now, how did 3M get started? Okay, where are all my post-it notes? Okay, I have done all these post-it notes, but I have put them everywhere. Okay, does not, oh yes, I got them here. Now, 3M started many years ago in 1902. Okay, in 1902, right, 3M, right, this company, what is it called, 3M? Is Minnesota's manufacturing and mining. Minnesota mining and manufacturing. So they start out as a mining company because they saw an opportunity there. So when they saw an opportunity there, right, they wanted to go in there and really create a business out there because everyone was mining, they are making money. When they go in there, they failed badly because they couldn't compete with the competitors back then when they first started as a very new company. So what did they do? From that failure, they innovated. Instead of competing with mining companies, they said, why don't we become something different? And they were thinking through and they said, well, maybe we can sell some things to the mining company to help them instead of competing with them. I love the way they think because it's called a win-win situation. How can we provide services to help these guys rather than compete and try to kill each other? So they started making sandpaper. And when they started to make sandpaper, people realized, hey, we need sandpaper. It is a small segment in the whole entire construction and mining process, but it served the industry. And when you serve the industry, you provide a value, that's where the company begin to grow. Now, and along the way, they are very open to actually testing things out. And I can share with you, I mean, it is easy to say, okay, let's be an innovative company, let's think of new ideas, let's do new things and let's accept failures. But the truth is, they also have ups and downs. So let me share with you what happened to one of the greatest invention by this guy called Richard Drew. Richard Drew, right, when he was serving in 3M, he was looking at one component of what 3M is doing, and a lot of people, in terms of constructing, they are doing painting. And you may or may not know this, but last time, or many years ago, right, what do? When you do a painting, you have to put newspapers because this is supposed to be red color and this is supposed to be black. So you put the newspapers to have a line so that when you paint, did I say this is blue or black? That doesn't matter, okay? You want to paint the other half, so you put newspapers along, you can paint across. Now, how do they put the newspapers on the wall in the past? They use glue and then they stick the newspaper along the whole entire line. Now, the problem is this. When they finish painting this side, they want to paint the other side. They will tear off the newspaper and they realize, wow, there's a lot of stains there. The glue can't be like taken off. So it's extremely yucky, you know. So one of these gentlemen called Richard Drew, he actually said this, why don't I create an adhesive, like a tape that I can take the newspaper and when I tear it out, it does not stick on the wall. There's no glue there. And what happened? This is the idea called Scotch tape. Now, if you have used Scotch tape before, just say hi or like, what's the pranks that you use Scotch tape? You know, some people use Scotch tape for pranks, you know. But the thing is this, I want to share this. It wasn't easy because Rachel Drew, he actually shared this idea with the management, and the management say, what do you guess they say? They say, wow, it's a wonderful idea because 3M, we really like accept innovation, right? No, actually he was rejected. They say this is a stupid idea. Go and do your work. Okay, go. So this Richard Drew, right? I was very touched by his story as well, because what he did was he didn't give up. He invested in the machine to produce Scotch tape, and he invested his own money. He went to do it. Until so much so, right, when the management start to see it actually happening and say, hey, this is something really feasible, you know. So you see, the idea is that we don't give up, just like 3M. They meet into the first failure, they don't give up. They even hire people who wanted to create something, and when he was really not encouraged to do so, he didn't give up. He created his own machine, he created his own Scotch tape, and that's where he actually was rewarded for that. They actually reward him financially, promoted him, and they created Scotch tape, one of the biggest selling item in 3M. Now, this is one interesting story. There are many interesting stories with 3M. The other interesting stories, right, comes from this guy called Spencer Silver. Okay, this guy, okay, sorry, I should say Dr. Spencer Silver. Probably he's got a PhD in I didn't read too much into details what he does. But he in 3M when he was working, right, he was out to create an adhesive, a super strong glue that is unbreakable. It's like when you put your glue on your hand, you go and stick to someone else. That's it. You're stuck there forever. I don't know whether that was his intention, but it's something he wants to, I mean, his intention to stick people around, but his intention was to create a glue that's so strong. But in the end, as he was creating a glue and he created a glue, right, the glue he created was extremely lousy. It was so lousy that when you put the glue on the paper, you stick on someone's head, pop, it can come out easily. You can even blow it off. Okay, so it was one of the biggest failure in 3M when they employed this PhD guy, Dr. Spencer Silver. So it was a failure, but something interesting happened. Another of his friend called Art Fly. Okay, this guy was his colleague. So they are colleagues, and when Art Fly, right, he saw this failed product, hey, this paper can't stick, you know, it's a lousy product. He has an idea, he said, hey, can I use this for a bookmark, you know? Because whenever I read a book, I put my bookmark, and my bookmark will just drop, and I can't find a bookmark. So if I can stick this on my book, and I will not lose my bookmark. This is a wonderful idea. So they created this thing called Post-it. They don't know what to do with it except for a makeshift bookmark that doesn't drop off the paper. But you realize that this product also became one of the best-selling product in the world. So this is very interesting, you know, how 3M innovates and how 3M attract people who think of ideas and they turn failure into success. Very important. Now, I want to say this. Maybe some of you are thinking, well, we are only listening to the successful cases. Maybe someone else created something that burned someone's head off and we never heard about it, right? That's true. You see, a lot of times, you have to innovate maybe 1,000 times and maybe 2 or 3 of them become a bestseller and that's it. But it's not like a one-time hit, a one-time success, and stories doesn't come like that. Real life stories doesn't come like that. Even movies nowadays, they are more realistic. Even like Iron Man or Superman, they will get injured, you see. So this is the idea we take away with it. Now, coming back to the company, why is it a possible good company to invest in, and why, to me, very interesting stock, is because they institutionalize innovation. Not a lot of companies can do that. We say we want an innovative culture, we make our office colorful and nice. Now, all this helps. When the environment is conducive, it helps. But how do they institutionalize innovation? They do this. In 3M, they have this 15% rule. Meaning to say, if you work in 3M, they pay your salary, they employ you to work there as a 3M team member. 15% of the time, you can do anything you want to innovate. You can go and test things out. There's an innovation lab. You can say, I got this wonderful best-selling idea, okay? Let me test it out. And they allow them to test it out. And they also pump in resources, money and time to allow people in 3M, if you're working there, to test out your ideas, okay? This is what they institutionalize. Well, if you're working for 3M and you feel that, wow, this is exactly what I'm facing now, or of course, when you institutionalize something, right, I can share. I mean, now that we're running a business called VIC, and very interesting, we can institutionalize all things, but how it gets implemented, of course, there's certain roadblocks. So you can say, hey, my company also say it's very innovative, but I don't feel it that way. But I can share with you, a statement from the top of saying we want to do that will create a certain culture. So maybe they don't spend 15%, maybe they spend 14% or 13%, but things get pushed out and more ideas actually came out. Do you know that, okay, this is not really what do you call that? It's not verified in a sense because Google never really like so-called admitted or say that it's true, but they also institutionalized something like a 20% rule, meaning to say in Google, they allow their Googlers to actually go and innovate, go and think of new ideas 20% of the time, 80% of the time or 90% of the time you have to do your work. If you are employed here to, let's say, really be a janitor, clean the place, please go and clean the place, make sure your basic work is done, but we give you a certain amount of space to go and innovate things. Maybe you want to have a better way of cleaning the place. Okay, I'm not saying like we are talking about specific jobs, but any job that you are doing in your company, you can improve the systems, you can make a better place, you can provide value, you can turn failures into success if you test hard enough and you keep going. So this is what I want to really share today. It's a Friday, so we are going to change this whole entire video to Thursday with Sean, and you can rewatch it on the Thursday series. So I hope you guys learned something today. And for 3M, it will be on my watch list. I like a company that can grow. I like a company that's stable. So 3M is proven to be stable, but 15% of their time is spent in growing the company, and 15% of the whole entire company, you see. Now, there are some groups of them, they invest more into R&D. Okay, by the way, for 3M, right, they invest about 6% of their sales into R&D. Always growing, always generating cash. Excellent company. I look forward to the next 3M idea. I look forward to becoming their customer and their shareholder as well. Right now, I'll not be buying too much. I'll be really going in if the dividend drop to 2.8, and if it drops to 3 and below, I'll be getting a huge piece of this 3M pie. So this is my sharing for today. I hope that you've learned something, and I hope that every single week as you listen, build up your shopping list and start to invest. Now, investing, you did not need to be so innovative. Just keep it plain and simple, but continue to learn, continue to be inspired by their story, and innovate other portions of your wealth. So hope you have a good weekend and see you next Thursday.